All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're live after 5 a.m. and today this is take 2 because the first take, period 1, did not record sound. So I'm hoping that I have sound now. So you want to make sure your GUI looks like this. Let's go back and review Audacity. And this is probably the problem, is that I'm getting mixed up with the recording of Audacity, and the recording of this video is probably screwing up the sound. So if you guys go into Audacity, you can hit record, and okay, so that's how you do a song. You go into Audacity, AUD. It's like audio with Audacity in it. So you're going to record videos in here, and I think it's recording. And then you hit stop. You guys go and select a beat that you want, and you play it. Okay, so you can go right here and just select this small one, short one. They need to be short. So you're going to go File, Export Selection, DINK 1.2. And you hit OK. So that's how you save any one of these. See how I can play any one of those sounds? I don't know. Why didn't you take it with you? So you just go to File. How many people see how to do File, Export Selection? Bump. Dump. So this is bump. Period 2. Okay. Now I have all these sounds in a folder. So you can go to your sound. You go figure out which one of these doesn't have anything in it. Okay, that has none. You go to source. You upload. You choose a file, and there it is. Bump. Period 2. And you just upload this. And if it goes in, if this goes away and you see something loaded, can you move seats, please? If this goes into this source here, does everybody see how this source says bump p2.mp3? If that goes in there, it loaded successfully. If it doesn't go in there, it's probably too big. So just go back and reduce the selection. Your sound files have to be small bites of sound. You can't try to put a song in there. And by the way, if you put in a song here today, all right, that song has to be less than 60 seconds. You can't put in a whole entire song. That's why most videos don't have words in them. They're usually about a 10-second song, so they don't have a lot of memory, and they just loop it and play it over and over again. Okay. So, do you guys want to see how to get something off YouTube? Okay. So, you go to YouTube, all right, and you search a song. Yeah, any song. You guys are not going to be able to do this, so I'll type out One Shining Moment. Okay. So you just click on this, right? And now it's playing that song. So that's the song that I want. And now I go up here to the URL. Everybody know what a URL is? It's a Uniform Resource Locator. This locates the website. Okay? Question. So this is the song I want. I copy this URL. What's a URL? Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, I copy that, and then I just go over here to a new tab, and I'm going to type out YouTube to MP3 converter. Okay, and some of these don't work. All right, this guy never works. The guy with the shark always works. So then I go here and I insert this. I hit paste and I hit convert, and then I hit download. And there it is, Luther Vandross. Okay, I go show in folder. There's Luther Vandross, One Shining Moment. Copy. I go back to my documents. Sound decision, and I can just put it in here. Notice it's an MP3. Do we handle MP3 files? Yes. We handle WAV files? Yes. Do we handle FLAC files? Yes. We don't handle anything else besides that? Yes. Just type in YouTube to MP3. Some of them work, some of them don't. You just got to try it, trial and error. Okay. Then it's blocked. All right. All right, so now I can right click on this and I can say open with, or all I have to do is go to my Audacity, okay, and I can go file open, and now I can go back one folder, and now I have Luther Vandross, One Shining Moment in here, okay. Now it's going to download my Luther Vandross. Now, notice this song is 3 minutes long. Can I use all 3 minutes of this? No. So I need to grab, like, I'm just going to go from like here, 45. Okay. And I can play this if I want. Okay, so you take that, you go File, Export Selection, and this is One Shining Moment Short. I'm going to call this my short version. Okay. And now I can go back into my MIT. I go back into my Play Song. I upload. I choose a file, and there's One Shining Moment Short. And I hit Open. If it puts it in there, if I see the words go in there, it accepted it. If it didn't, it's probably too large. Go back and reduce it to a smaller size. That's why it's so important you learn how to do the selection. You guys understand how to do the selection? Okay? Any questions on this? All right, let's go into code blocks. You guys want to do this all at home anyway because you don't have administrative rights on your computer right now to do it anyway. You don't have administrative rights to do this on your computer. You can't do this here. What I just showed you how to do, you can't do here. Okay? It's interesting. You shouldn't be able to do it. Okay? No, you don't have the rights to do all the downloading. That's cool. All right, let's go into code blocks. I'm going to delete all this. Oh, man, it's going to hurt deleting 58 blocks. Oh, that left a mark. 7, 17. Whoa. Okay, let's go back to the designer here. We want to create variables. Remember, variables are created for something you want to remember. What do we want to remember on this game? Nope. If I'm creating variables, I want to create variables for things I want to remember. What do I need to remember here? Score, home score, away score, and time. So here we go. Blocks. Create variables. I'm going to go into my variables. I'm going to initialize the global variable. The name is going to be home score. Oops, spelled it wrong. Home score. Home score is equal to 0. I can copy and paste that 2 more times. And the next one's going to be my away score. And the next one down is going to be my time, game time. Game time's not going to start at 0. It's going to start at 60. How we doing? Everybody remember how to create a variable? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is get our time to run, and then we're going to fling our ball. Now, have I showed you guys how to use the backpack? No, let's learn how to use the backpack today. Who knows how to use the backpack? All right, it's pretty slick. It's pretty cool. Saves you a lot of time on coding. So watch this. I'm going to go back to my projects. I'm going to go back to my last app, Count Me In Movement. And I could have used all these variables up here too. But you remember this right here? I'm going to take this and add it to my backpack. And then I'm also going to take my timer code and add it to my backpack. Now it's in my backpack. That's like copying and pasting. I go back to my projects. I go to sound decision period 1. Here I am. Now what can I do? I can go to my backpack and say, oh, here you go, set screen 1. Go to my backpack and pull out my game timer code. I just built all that code in how many seconds? About 7. Now, it may give you some errors. Why do you think it's giving me errors here with game time? Yeah, I spelled it differently. Notice here, this is game time with lowercase. This is game time with uppercase. So which one do I need to put in here? I either got to do 2 things here. I could go up here and change all of these, or I could go up here to my variable and do what? Change my variable. Well, let's go ahead and do, that's the easy way out. So let's go game, capital T-I-M-E, make it like the ones down there. Now those should work. Yeah, now all those went away. Do you see that? You have to make sure your variable is the same as this variable here. Has to be the exact same name. Who understands what I just did? You got to make a decision on which one do you want to use. I chose to, instead of changing all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orange blocks down here, I chose to go up to my game time variable and rename it to make it look like the ones in the blocks. Because that one change got me 5. Are you with me? So here are my variables. Figure it out. You got to make them the same. You got to use what you have. How many people use the backpack there? Okay, then do you have the same components? You probably have a different component. Your clock game time might be different. Okay. Everybody go with it, what I just did there? What? You'd have to rewrite it here. Yeah. You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out, man. What's different about it? What's the same about it? What's different about it? You gotta make them. Okay. Well, then that means you don't have that green thing in your GUI. You don't have it. You have a different one. That's why, is the backpack always easier? Not always. Not if you didn't name things the way you used, If you name them differently, if you don't have something called clock game time and LBL time, this is all screwed up. Are you with me? That's why I try to get into a convention. Hello? Hello? This is why I try to get into a convention on how to name things the same way every time. LBL time. LBL capital TIME. My personal preference, my style, I'm going to do that every time. Why? So that I'm not different every time I make a different app. Are you with me? My style, if you guys do this, you're going to cause more confusion using the backpack. You might as well just went ahead and wrote all the code blocks again. Okay? So I'm not guaranteeing you that it's easier to use the backpack. Are you with me? I'm just showing you that's a way of copying and pasting code. All right? Kylie obviously doesn't like it. So then, Kylie, you need to go back and start over and don't use the backpack. Okay, then create that variable that you need. Okay. All right, so I just turned the clock on. It's going to start running with 1 second. Remember this, I can add a comment here. You just right click and add comment. You don't have to. 1,000 milliseconds is equal to how many? 1 second. Okay. 500 milliseconds is equal to 1/2 a second. You don't have to do that. I'm just, for educational purposes, I want people to constantly be remembering that. Okay? All right, let's go get our ball to move. The game time is counting backwards, 59, 58, 57. Going to get down to 0 and stop. When it stops, Siri's going to say, game over. And the clock's going to shut off at 0 so it doesn't keep going into negatives. Is that what we wanted? Yeah, I think that's what we want. All right, let's move on then. Let's go down here and fling the ball. So you're going to go to your canvas, and you're going to do a flung. Flung. You're going to flung on the canvas. Swipe it with your finger, right? You're going to fling your finger. Fling, fling, flung. I guess flung is a real word, even though it sounds really, really weird to me. I'm going to flung you, man. I'm going to flung you. Okay? Flung. I guess it's a word because there it is. Flung. So, what gets flung? You want, when you fling on the canvas with your finger, you want the ball, image sprite ball, to start moving. So you're going to give it a heading, and you're going to go back and give it a speed. Yeah. Yep. I'm going to show you how to do the speed right now. And you can even do random. You can randomize the speed. So when it bounces off walls, it goes on different random speeds. Image sprite ball has speed and heading in it. I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see it. That's really big. That's huge. Okay, so there's the speed and the heading. Are you with me? So The speed, you just get it from up here. And the heading, you just get it from up here. Okay, you see how I hover over these coins up here? Hover, get them. Now, the speed's going to be incredibly slow, so we're going to do some math on it, and I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply this guy, speed times 10. Speed times 10. Now that ball is going to go a little bit faster. Yeah, but that's then it'll always be that way. If you wanted to set the interval, you could do that also. The interval is just the internal clock of the sprite is moving faster. It's just like we've set our sprite our clock to be 1,000 milliseconds. It's pretty slow. 500, it's faster. So whatever's happening is just occurring quicker. Okay. Now this ball is moving. Yep. What do you want the ball to do when it reaches a wall? Bounce. So they're not called walls. What are they called? Edges. Remember yesterday we did the edges. So you're going to go into your image sprite ball, and do you see where it says edge reached? Grab that. That's an event that you want to happen. What do you want the ball to do when it reaches an edge? Bounce. So you go back into the ball, image sprite ball, and ball, I want you to bounce. Okay, get the edge. What's that? Okay, so now we want to figure out which edge do we hit. Are you with me? So we got to do a control block in here, a control if. Okay. If the edge is equal to, go get the edge, if it's equal to edge 1. What do we want it to do if it hits edge 1? Yeah. Make a sound. I want it to bounce, so there it's bouncing. I want to play a sound, which I don't have. So here's a sound. I could say sound edge 1. I could also have Siri come on. If you don't have your sound set, you guys may want to just use Siri for right now. And Siri can come on and say you hit edge 1. So she can come on and say edge 1. Okay. Now, like if you're playing Pong, not all the edges you're going to want to bounce off of. Are you with me? Like the east edge and the west edge, you may not want to bounce off of. That might be like a goal. Somebody scores, so you can start doing that. Okay, so now I'm going to expand this control if. How many more edges do I have? I have 8, 7 more, right? So 1, 2, 3, drag this up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. All right. So now I'm just going to expand this all the way down. Who understands what I'm going to do here? This is going to be edge 2. I'm going to expand this. This is going to be edge 3. I'm going to expand this. This is going to be edge 4. I'm going to expand this. This is going to be edge -1. I'm going to expand this. This is going to be edge -2. I'm going to expand this. This is going to be edge -3. I'm going to expand this. This is going to be edge . I go to the blue button up here. Like right now, I have too many. You only need 8. 8 edges, right? So I don't need these bottom 2. Okay. So after I hit every edge, I want it to bounce. Copy these all the way down. Who understands what I'm doing? What's not working? You drag your else's ifs into there. So watch this. You just go here. It's too small. It's too big. Okay, and then you just take an else if and you drag it over into the right-hand side. Did you do that? No, you didn't. Okay, you got to watch what I'm doing. Okay, so then you can just copy all these play sounds. This is going to be sound edge 2. Yep. Sound edge 3. It's going to play the sound. It decides which sound to play. Intuitively, right? I'm playing the appropriate sound that goes with that edge. Edge -1. Edge -2. Okay, and I lost one of my if statements, so I got to go back in here, reduce it so I can see it, drag in an else if at the bottom, enlarge it so I can read it. Play sound edge. I'm going to put this one down at the bottom because I skipped over 3 and I'm OCD, so I like them to be in order. -3. When I hit -3 edge, I want to bounce. I want to play this sound for -3. I'm going to hit edge 4 and bounce, and I want to play my sound for edge -4. Okay, what else do I want to do? I could have Siri come on and just speak which edge they just hit. So this is edge 2. Copy and paste Siri all the way down. If you don't have your sounds set up yet, who doesn't have their sounds set up yet? Then just do Siri all the way down. I would not mess with sounds until you have them set because it's going to give you errors. Okay, so you could just work your Siri all the way down. Edge 3. Edge 4. Edge negative, I think I have to type it out, -1. Edge -2. Edge -3. Edge -4. Okay. Done. My ball is bouncing. Text-to-speech is coming on. Tell me which edge it's bouncing off of. And let's go and check it, see if it works. So tomorrow, let's say you want to start playing a game, right? There might be, when you play a game, there might be edges you don't want to bounce off of. You might want to put a goal there, and if they hit it into that edge, it becomes a goal and a point for the other team, and then you start giving the other team points. You don't let it bounce off the edge. You with me? Take the bounce out and tell the ball to reset to the center court. Okay? So let's go see if it runs. Connect, reset, AI companion. See if it runs. You know what I should have done? I should have turned the music on, right? So if I go up here to screen 1, I can go to my player background music, start playing. That's easy. Okay. You got to put it in. What? Should start playing my music. Somebody works.